Imagine playing a backyard game that involved throwing massive, weighted metal spikes high into the air, or treating a scraped knee with a bright red medicine that actually contained mercury. Here are 10 household products from the past that were later banned. Lead-based paint was once the standard for decorating American homes, prized for its durability, quick drying time, and vibrant colors. Throughout the mid-20th century, millions of households were covered in this resilient finish. Paint manufacturers heavily marketed lead paint to families, often using cheerful advertisements that touted its washability. However, the severe health risks associated with lead exposure became undeniable, particularly for young children who might ingest peeling paint chips. The buildup of lead in the body was linked to severe developmental issues, prompting a massive public health outcry. In 1978, the federal government officially banned the consumer use of lead-based paint in residential properties. Interestingly, the Environmental Protection Agency estimates that millions of older American homes still contain layers of this hazardous paint hidden beneath modern coats. Asbestos was once considered a miracle material and was heavily used in American home construction from the 1930s through the 1970s. This naturally occurring fibrous mineral was incredibly heat-resistant and highly effective as an insulator, making it the perfect choice for floor tiles, roofing shingles, and pipe insulation. Many families growing up in the mid-century era lived in homes filled with asbestos products, completely unaware of the hidden dangers. When asbestos materials break down during renovations, they release microscopic fibers into the air that can be inhaled. Prolonged exposure to these fibers was eventually linked to severe respiratory diseases, including mesothelioma. As medical evidence mounted, the government began heavily regulating and phasing out asbestos products in 1989. The material was so prevalent that vintage hair dryers and ironing board covers once contained asbestos for fireproofing. Lawn darts, famously sold under the brand name Jarts, were a staple of American backyard barbecues throughout the 1970s and 1980s. The game consisted of tossing heavy plastic darts with solid metal tips toward a plastic ring placed on the grass. While they provided countless hours of outdoor entertainment, these heavy projectiles were essentially aerodynamic weapons that could easily pierce through clothing and bone. Due to their dangerous design, thousands of people, mostly children, ended up in emergency rooms with severe puncture wounds. Following a tragic fatality and a passionate campaign by grieving parents, the Consumer Product Safety Commission officially banned the sale of all lawn darts in the United States in 1988. In an unprecedented move, the government actively urged citizens to destroy any existing sets they still had in their garages. DDT was once hailed as the ultimate solution to pest control, widely used by homeowners in the 1940s and 1950s to eradicate mosquitoes and flies. Families would casually spray this powerful chemical around their kitchens, gardens, and even directly onto their children to protect them from bugs. Advertising campaigns frequently featured smiling housewives promoting DDT as an essential household product for a healthy American home. However, the publication of Rachel Carson's groundbreaking book Silent Spring in 1962 exposed the devastating environmental impact of the chemical, particularly its role in decimating bald eagle populations. As public awareness grew regarding its long-lasting toxicity, the government faced immense pressure to take action. The Environmental Protection Agency officially banned the household use of DDT in 1972, marking a major turning point in modern environmentalism. Mercurochrome was the bright red antiseptic that almost every mother kept fully stocked in the family medicine cabinet from the 1920s through the 1990s. Whenever a child came home with a scraped knee from playing outside, This vivid liquid was generously painted onto the wound to prevent infection. It was affectionately known as monkey blood by children across the country, leaving a reddish-orange stain on the skin that lasted for days. Despite its widespread popularity and sting-free application, the medical community eventually grew concerned about its primary active ingredient, which was mercury. Because mercury is highly toxic and can be absorbed through the skin, the Food and Drug Administration re-evaluated this nostalgic first aid staple. In 1998, the FDA officially banned its sale in the United States. Today, the once ubiquitous little glass bottles are nothing more than vintage collectibles. Clackers were an incredibly popular and deeply noisy toy fad that took schoolyards by storm in the late 1960s and early 1970s. The toy consisted of two heavy acrylic spheres attached to a sturdy string, which children would swing rapidly to make the balls smash together. The goal was to build enough momentum to have the balls clack against each other, creating a loud, rhythmic sound. Unfortunately, the hard acrylic plastic used to manufacture these spheres was prone to stress fractures from the constant, violent impacts. When the balls eventually failed, they would shatter explosively, sending sharp plastic fragments flying into the faces of unsuspecting children. After countless reports of injuries and alarming safety warnings, the Food and Drug Administration banned the original heavy acrylic clackers in 1976. Modern versions were eventually reintroduced, but they lacked the dangerous thrill of the originals. Carbon tetrachloride fire extinguishers, often referred to as fire grenades, were a common safety device found in homes during the early to mid-20th century. These elegant glass bulb-shaped devices were filled with a clear chemical liquid and were designed to be thrown directly at the base of a fire. The chemical was highly effective at smothering fires by displacing oxygen, making it a popular choice for household emergencies. However, the extreme danger became apparent when it was discovered that exposing the chemical to high heat produced phosgene gas, a highly toxic substance famously used in World War I. Inhaling the fumes could cause immediate respiratory failure and fatal kidney issues. Because the cure was often more deadly than the fire itself, these extinguishers were banned by the 1950s. Today, antique collectors still hunt for these colorful glass grenades. Cyclamate was an incredibly popular artificial sweetener that revolutionized the diet food industry throughout the 1950s and 1960s. It was completely calorie-free and about 30 times sweeter than regular sugar, making it the star ingredient in early diet sodas like Tab and Diet Pepsi. Millions of Americans consumed Cyclamate daily, using it in their morning coffee and countless sugar-free snacks. The sweetener was celebrated for lacking the bitter aftertaste that plagued saccharin, leading to massive commercial success and widespread household adoption. However, a controversial laboratory study in 1969 linked high doses of a cyclamate mixture to bladder cancer in laboratory rats, sparking immediate nationwide panic. The Food and Drug Administration acted swiftly, banning the use of cyclamate in all food and beverage products within the United States. Interestingly, subsequent research failed to prove that cyclamate causes cancer in humans. Radium-luminous clocks were a marvel of modern technology in the 1920s and 1930s, offering families the incredible convenience of reading the time in complete darkness. Manufacturers achieved this glowing effect by painting the clock dials with a special luminescent paint infused with radium, a highly radioactive element. These glowing timepieces were incredibly popular and sat on millions of bedside tables across America, casting a faint greenish hue. The general public was largely unaware of the dangers, as radium was initially marketed as a healthy, energizing substance. The tragic reality was brought to light by the Radium Girls, factory workers who suffered horrific bone decay from licking their paintbrushes to keep a fine point. Following immense public outrage, the use of radium in consumer clocks was ultimately banned in 1968. If you stumble across an antique clock today, it might still emit measurable radiation. Dropside baby cribs were the absolute standard in nursery furniture, utilized by millions of American parents from the mid-20th century into the 2000s. The design featured a side rail that could easily slide down, allowing parents to lift their sleeping infants in and out without straining their backs. They were passed down as beloved family heirlooms, enduring countless moves and multiple children over the decades. However, the moving hardware that made these cribs so convenient was highly susceptible to wear and improper installation, creating a hidden hazard. When the tracks broke, a dangerous gap would form between the mattress and the dropside, leading to tragic instances of infants becoming entrapped. After years of mounting injuries and millions of product recalls, the Consumer Product Safety Commission enacted a total ban on dropside cribs in 2011. The strict federal mandate even made it illegal to donate them to thrift stores. So, which of these hazardous historical products do you remember having in your house growing up? Drop a comment down below to tell us your favorite vintage memory.